trying to stay in the safe zone because there is no risk, there is no exposure, there is no death of the ego. And how becomes a hiding place? Because it helps us to remain near Krishna but not with Krishna. We don't want to come close to Krishna. We linger on the bank of Ganga, but we don't dive into it. We don't jump into the Ganga. We're scared. So this is called spiritual procrastination, delaying. So we don't want Krishna. We want protection from Krishna. I have my attachments. I want Krishna to protect my attachments. So let me not dive into it. So let me ask some questions. Because when we ask questions and then we accept the answer, we surrender. You know what happens when we surrender? Something in our identity will have to die. Ego, the layers that we have covered ourselves with, it has to go, and that is scary. Surrender is scary because ego death is scary for many of us. Delays, it keeps asking questions. Because the answers, we don't want the answers because the answers would require commitment. So the antidote is, so the entire, okay, let us stop this discussion. So okay, now let's get into the solution part. What do we do now? Let us say we have somewhere within us something we want to avoid surrender. So let us do like this. The solution is a moment of honesty. I'll repeat, a moment of honesty is the solution. Am I truly seeking Krishna or am I hiding behind a question? Sometimes the most powerful spiritual practice is not, sometimes most powerful spiritual practice is not chanting one round extra or reading another chapter of Bhagavatam. It is sometimes simply pausing and asking this question: what am I avoiding right now in my relationship with Krishna? Let's ask this question: what am I avoiding right now in my relationship with Krishna? And when we sit with that question, in that stillness, the illusion cracks and we know the answer. The false how disappears. When I ask, what am I avoiding in my relationship with Krishna? And then what remains is the soft whisper. That Krishna, I'm afraid, but I still want you. I want Krishna, but I'm afraid. So the honest prayer sometimes is not, the question is not how do I surrender, but rather, Krishna, what am I avoiding right now? There is one question which if we ask ourselves sincerely, it will expose the hiding. It will bring our heart into the light of Krishna consciousness. It will invite Krishna inside our heart, and this is enough actually. This one line touches Krishna more than hours and hours of intellectual inquiry. What am I avoiding in my relationship with Krishna now? So practical meditation is something like this. Like when the mind says, when you get, how can I improve my chanting? How can I be grateful? Answer to all these questions is this: let me take one small step now. Let me say for gratitude, let me take one small step now. Let me say thank you right now. How can I improve my chanting? Let me chant one mantra with love now. Have you noticed something common in all the answers?
No.
No. So we are now shifting from paralysis to participation in the present moment. Now. There is something we can all do now. Don't wait for clarity to act. Many of us we think, let me have clarity, then I will act. Bhakti Yoga is different. In Bhakti Yoga, we first perform some sincere action. Then clarity comes. Many times we want clarity first. Then I will do something. We have to think. It works differently. We don't need a perfect technique, we don't need a lot of answers. We just need present moment, heart connection. Then we'll stop hiding behind the how and we start acting with now. Now what can I do? Let us stop pretending to be asleep and Krishna immediately will become present in our. So basically let us move from how to. The path forward is not always about learning something. We want something new. This is one of the most insidious things that can happen in our movement. Something new I want to know. No, it is about doing what we already know. Now. I remember Radhesham Prabhu asked this beautiful question last year in the Temple Bhagavatam class. His Holiness Arana Singh Maharaj, he actually was echoing the mood of many of us. Maharaj, we know already so much Bhagavatam, we know all these stories. We get attracted by new things. Like outside, how to apply this in modern context. We want some corporate examples. And then we feel this reading or this study helps us, is more attractive than studying the same pastime. And there's a very practical question he asked. Many of us have this feeling after some time. But then what an answer Maharaj gave. He said, Radhesham Prabhu, knowing is not important in Krishna consciousness. Association is more important. So you may know Bhagavatam, but that's not as important as association of Bhagavatam. You get this? He said, you may know all the verses of the Bhagavatam. So instead of seeking something new, now we have to move from knowing to association of those verses. But then Maharaj said, Haridas Thakur, did you not know the glory of holy name? He knew everything about the holy name. What did he do? He was associating with the holy name. So this is very important. Instead of asking, how do I feel gratitude, let us say thank you right now. Simple. Instead of asking, how do I love Krishna? How do I love Krishna? Let us say, Krishna, I want to love you. We can say it right now. It doesn't take, in the thought form, you may not say loudly, it may disturb or bewilder others, but the Madhyama Bhava, in the thought form, you can always say, Krishna, I want to love you. You can always say that. Right now, you can say that. Answer to your question. So, clarity you will get when there is obedience, when there is sincerity. And actually, the understanding I have seen it deepens after action. When you perform that famous pastime of Madan Mohan Malviya, who came and washed pots, Bhaktivedanta Thakur's ashram, you know that story? He only had many questions and devotees told him, wash pots. He washed pots, and clarity again. So many examples, Prabhu's, Mataji, you come to ISKCON, there are so many devotees who did seva, some answers. And after seva, then meva, then prasad. Then all the. So we don't actually grow by gaining knowledge. We actually grow by offering our heart to Krishna in the present moment. Telling Krishna, I love you, I want to love you. So therefore, this false how, instead of the false how, let us move to the true now. This moment. Every moment, So there is confusion of the heart, which is okay. We all are confused all the time. It's okay. Honesty of the heart is okay, but there is convenient confusion of the mind. So the honest confusion would say something like this. When my heart is confused, honestly it will say something like this. Krishna, I want to love you. I don't know how. Please guide me. And then we start chanting, we serve, we learn, we ask questions. But the hiding mind, what the hiding mind will do is, it will say, it has a different way of asking questions. It will say, how do I love Krishna? And then go up to sleep. So there is this, most actually Krishna consciousness is very simple. Chanting, offering gratitude, serving, just appreciating devotees. It's such a simple process. Remembering Krishna. But simplicity is uncomfortable for the ego. And it would rather drown in complicated questions. Swimming the ocean nectar of humility and appreciation. So as long as we are stuck in the how without moving to the now, we remain trapped in spiritual inertia. We keep asking. So therefore, next time the mind asks how, I would say just pause and check if this question is a step towards surrender or is it a shield against surrender. If it is a shield, then gently lay it down and whisper, Krishna, I am here right now, I want to surrender, and then ask the question. So this moment of honesty can carry us forward much more than hours and hours of theoretical inquiry. So the conclusion is of today's presentation is, let us wake up, let us not pretend. And but the good news is you are not asleep, none of you are asleep. You are awake, you are and I can feel it. But I'm just saying it for myself because it's from a journal. So let us not make how as a hiding place. Let it become a launching pad. Let us ask questions. We should ask questions about chanting. We should discuss about how. But there has to be trust. There has to be questioning. There has to be connection. There has to be heart. And in that shift when we make, we will discover Krishna. And so therefore, I got some quotations, questions to Prabhupada, how to become sincere. And Prabhupada said, you are already sincere. Just show Krishna by your actions. Krishna is not fooled by your words. He basically is emphasizing do it, not think it. I will repeat Prabhupada's words. You are already sincere. Just show Krishna by your actions. Krishna is not fooled by words. So do it and think it are two different things. So surrender, surrender is a muscle. That is not a mantra. I surrender. No, karo kuch action karo. So that group conversation. One devotee said, Prabhupada, how do I become humble? And how Prabhupada cut the fog. What a simple question. How do I become humble? Prabhupada said, why not be humble? Why ask? Try to get the answer. What is the question? How do I become humble? What did Prabhupada say? Why not be humble? Why ask? The room went silent. Everybody understood. It actually, the answer was like a thunderbolt. Why ask? Be humble. For those who are serious now, they don't stay in the fog of how they move to now. Abhi kya karna hai? They take a step, they chant, they surrender, they fall, but they rise. They move forward. So Krishna will help the doer. We say Krishna is the doer, but this is a different context. Krishna is the doer, not the delayer. So we can't delay. So Gajendra called out. Yonta sarasurubalena grihitartha Drishva garutmati harim kalpada chakram Uchitya sambhujakaram gramaha krichram Narayana akila guru bhagavan namaste. All his effort, he picked up that lotus. Narayana akila guru. Krishna offered it. He surrendered. He offered it to Krishna. He didn't philosophize. He just, Krishna and yours. This sincerity touched Krishna's heart. So Srila Prabhupada is always wanted us to offer ourselves. Bhakti nai, Veda nai, Purnam Garu, Ekanam Sattva Garu. Krishna and yours, I am surrendering. Prabhupada replaced how with now. And that's what we need to do. So, so Prabhupada answers are very simple. If you see in conversations, one devotee is like, how do I love Krishna? No complicated answer. Prabhupada answer, you are already loving. Just transfer it to Krishna. Chant Hare Krishna and follow the process. Love will come. Kitna acha laga. No need of paralysis by analysis. So love comes through basically Prabhupada. Love comes through surrender, not speculation. So like that, let us practice bhakti. Simple for the simple, right? So I've generally seen gratitude. There are 5 things in prayer which help me. I can share. One is gratitude, thanking Krishna for what we have. Second is praising, glorifying Krishna. And when I memorize verses, I think who said this recently? One of our Brahmajans memorize verses. I feel sometimes I'm memorizing this to show off. Why I should feel a little not happy. But then he said a very nice point. He said, how do we praise Krishna? Bhagavatam verses are not different from Krishna. So when we are chanting verses and memorizing verses, we are praising Krishna. So it gave me a lot of hope. So now whenever I am memorizing verses, I think, okay, this is praise. So we can praise Krishna by glorifying Krishna's qualities. Not because Krishna needs it, I need it. So I praise Krishna. Gratitude, praise, then dependence, which is acknowledging that, Krishna, I cannot succeed without your mercy. And 4th is surrender, offering Krishna ourselves without condition. And finally, so generally I have seen that is our faults, talking about our faults. We should always tell Krishna about the mistakes we have done, the faults we have done. But when we speak about our faults, we actually get to the faults so much. We invest emotions in faults, but not in Krishna. And we don't invest emotions in gratitude, dependence, surrender. उसमें का energy डाल नहीं पाते हम. Negativity में तुरंत energy चला जाता है. So therefore, it is all the 6 are important. Gratitude, dependence, praise, surrender, request, and faults. So all the 6 are part. of the prayers. So like that. So we have Bhagavatam, have many examples. So let us, when next time when I ask questions, let me ask myself first, is this my soul seeking guidance or is this my mind seeking delay? Simple. If it is a soul seeking guidance, then yes, take a step forward. If it is a mind seeking delay, also it is okay, smile and take a step anyway. Come to Krishna. So when we stop hiding behind the how, that is when we will finally start living in the now. And when we live in the now, that's where Krishna is, always in the now. Krishna is here. But we don't want to live for the now. We want to go back to God. We are not Buddhist meditators. We want to be just in the now. So we want to serve Krishna now, so that we can go back to Krishna. I will pause here, please. I'm open to corrections. I hope my speculation. But please, we can have some discussions now. We have some time.
Yeah.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry if I spoke anything inappropriate beyond my level of realization. Hare Krishna. Any comments or questions, corrections? Hare Krishna. Yes. Acha,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my Hare Krishna Prabhu Srila Prabhupada. I wanted to ask about how to now. So if you can elaborate.
How to?
How to now.
How to go to now? Niranjan Maharaj answers this very beautifully. There is a book called Lectures for Disciple Volume 2. Oh, that's one of my favorite books. So in that, Volume 1. So there he answers this question. He says in ISKCON, he says, there is how to do it questions. There is a category of questions called how to do it. They say the answer to all the questions is same. You do it by doing it. So he says, how to become humble? Swamiji, how to become humble? How to become sincere? So I tell them, become sincere. So how to be in the now? I honestly don't know. I remember in Mumbai, Borivali, I used to do preaching. I once decided to start a new trend. In ISKCON, really we have Bhagavatam class and then we have question answers. But I thought, because people used to come late, little late, so I said we will begin with question answers. And we will, after half an hour of question answers, then we'll have 1 hour class. That is what system we follow. And then we had Kirtan like that. So I remember once we spoke on holy name, that verse, Hare Ram verse. So the next week somebody said, how to make holy name the number one priority in our life. So then I explained about getting up in the morning, chanting through rounds and all that. And the next week somebody asked, the whole class I gave on that. Next week somebody said, probably you said we should wake up in the morning and chant, but I have late night program and it's very difficult and mind is always, so how do I chant? How do I wake up in the morning? When I spoke about Sattva-guna practices, which includes taking bath, eating consciously at night, before sunset, things like that. Sattva-guna. Next week, the following week, somebody said, probably last week you spoke about Sattva-guna. How to live in Sattva-guna? Sattva-guna is very difficult. So that class I spoke about how we can try breathing. No, I am a great advocate of breathing. I read it. I got a lot of quotes from Sanatana Goswami also. How breathing, pranayam and all is healthy for sadhakas. So I spoke all of that stuff. Breathing karna chahiye thoda. Before, so everybody was happy. And next week somebody told you about breathing, mind wanders too much. I tried for 1 week, what to do. So I said, breathing काम नहीं कर रहा है because you should write journals. So then, okay, journaling took off. Actually, somebody said, journaling also, very difficult. My paper gets lost, and people read what I written in the journal. How to write journal, Prabhuji? So I said, you can write journal by writing prayer. So I told them I give this, my favorite BJP formula. Breathing, journaling and prayer. BJP Zindabad. Breathing, journal, prayer. So everybody liked it. This is BJP. So next week somebody will tell you बीजेपी का टेक्निक बहुत अच्छा था पर प्रैक्टिकल नहीं हो रहा है.
तो कांग्रेस करो. फिर कांग्रेस करो.
So I said, अरे ये सब बेकार है, आप हरिनाम का आश्रय.
Wow.
And then next week somebody will tell you spoke about Harinam. How to take a shelter of Harinam?
घूम फिर के.
So then I said, no, Shila Sattamana lifestyle. And then as I was saying it, I realized, are you seeing what's happening?
This is where we started.
If I have spoken about Sattamana that week, next week somebody would have said, Sattamana kaise rahne ka? I would have said, breathing karo. There is no end to how to do it. So basically, how to now means simple hai. Be in the present moment. Gurujan Prabhu explained very beautifully in his book called Japa. He says, listen to one Mahamantra. Which Mahamantra? The one that I am chanting right now. Like when we chant Hare Krishna, we chant this mantra. Sankalpa. Just before you say the first Hare, make a Sankalpa that this one mantra I am going to listen. It's a wave. It happens in a microsecond. Sankalpa happens in a microsecond. And just focus on this one Mahamantra. Not the 16 rounds. You don't have to chant and hear all the 16 rounds. So how to be in the now? How to be in the now, Mataji?
One mantra at a time.
Which? No, I didn't say one mantra at a time. We listen to the one mantra
Now.
that I am chanting now. If you say one mantra at a time, the mind will go to the next mantra. There is no next mantra. Now, just listen to the mantra that I am chanting now. That helps us be in the present moment. And this is also called as Avyagratva. Sanatana, that verse I quoted in the beginning. This one thing changed my life, just be patient, don't rush your rounds. Just don't rush your. When I've done that, my God, I'm telling you, my life became so peaceful. It's a simple thing. It may appear silly, but just not rushing my rounds. Knowing that there is enough time. हो जाएगा सब टेंशन मत लो. अच्छे से एक mantra सुनो. This mantra let me listen. That mantra nourishes. Then it gives us enthusiasm to chant the next mantra. And then overall 16 rounds हो जाता है. We anyway waste so much time on WhatsApp, on Instagram, social media. 16 rounds आराम से हो जाएगा. Happily हो जाएगा if you focus on which mantra we should hear.
Now, the one
The
you're
mantra that I
chanting.
am chanting now. So this is a very amazing technique Gurujan Prabhu gives in his book. Japa, but as he gives many keys, 9 keys he gives. This is I think the second one after Sankalpa. And then 8th and 9th is surrender, humility, dependence, and the end he says, a time will come in your life when even this one technique will fail. This technique of listening to the mantra, you have just surrendered to Krishna completely. But that will be later. But at least you start with this. Krishna, I am yours. This mantra I am offering now to you. So does that help, Mataji? To be in the now? Hare Krishna. So I try to answer your question how to be in the now, but I also give a subtle message that how questions can help us. Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna. Very simplified and how to implement what we hear and practice. For me, it reminds me the verse Tadviti Pranimate. When you ask a question, you ask for transformation.
Yes.
Ask the right person and do some seva, association.
Yes.
So all the things Krishna actually said in that verse.
Thank you. Thank you. Also, one thing that helped me in Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam puts everything in proper perspective. And I'm amazed how way Bhagavatam describes about life and death. So when I see that, I get an aerial view. Like after describing all the kings, I was reading 11th kind of recently. All the amazing kings' names are mentioned. If you carefully read, each of these kings ruled the entire planet Earth. See, now we may have one king for one country. All these amazing names, and those names I'm not able to pronounce also. And when I read all the names, I was reading slowly, deliberately. I wanted those names to go in. Imagine each of them were ruling the whole planet Earth for hundreds of years. After all the names, what does Sukha Goswami says? He says, Ye bhupatayo rajan bunjate bhuvamo jasa kale nati krita sarve kata matra kata sucha. Ye, all the names I mentioned just now, They were not ordinary people. Bhupatayo Rajan, O king, they were the Bhupatis. They were the Lord and Master of the whole planet. Ye Bhupatayo Rajan. And they were not rubber stamp kings. Bunjate Bhuvamo Jasa. They enjoyed all their sensual prowess. They had the capacity to enjoy. They were not like a rubber stamp king. But what are they now? Kale Nate Krita Sarve. Time has wiped all of them off. Katha Matra, Katha Sucha, they are simply names in the history books.
Wow.
Oh, when I read that, my heart just skipped a beat. My God, all of them gone? Who am I? Insignificant. Kita Mari Kela, Alada Shakur says, we are insignificant. And you know, there is this nectar of insignificance we need to experience. We generally think, if I'm insignificant, I'm nobody, I'm miserable. No. We need to enter that space. When we are in the present moment now and we understand the context of everything is temporary, all kings are gone. Who am I? Then we enter into this space of nectar of insignificance. We need to experience that. I am nobody. And in that space we feel a sense of belongingness to Krishna. I am nobody. I will be wiped off. But this is a paradox of bhakti. I am insignificant. I am nobody. But I belong to Krishna. So the more we try to be controlled or enjoy, the more fear gets us. Vayam Sitya Viriveshatasya Vishalapetasya Viparvedospati. So therefore we need to understand I'm nobody and I'm just getting dissolved. So everything is going, gone. So then I'm able to take shelter of the holy name. So like that. Yes, thank you, Prabhu, for that point. Service, questions, and transformation. Asking questions for transformation, not for information. Yes. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, all of you, for your kind attention. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So, His Grace Vrajbihari Prabhu has been part of our society and movement for over 30 years, and he has been part of the Brahmachari Ashram in Shri Radha Gopinath Temple, ISKCON Chowpatty for over 25 plus years. Again, he's not something who needs an introduction, but for those who have joined here for the first time, so Prabhu has been author of many books, and we have some of this collection of his books. This year, though, there was no new books, right? Oh, this,
It's gone for print.
oh, yeah. Okay.
It's not overthinking.
So one thing very unique about His Grace Vrajbihari Prabhu is that through in his classes, right, he makes the classes very palatable, that easy to take away what we can apply in our day-to-day life, right? So yeah, we can talk about high-level philosophies and other things, but what is the key takeaways? And as you saw right now today, right, like how we can try to hide ourselves, asking questions, how can we move to now, right? So that's the beauty of His Grace Vrajbihari Prabhu through his classes. So let's welcome His Grace Vrajbihari Prabhu by chanting Hari Bol and also express our gratitude for this first session. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Also, we are very fortunate here today that His Grace Amrita Prabhu is also here. So we'll continue. Tomorrow's session will be a home program in Shanmika Mataji's home and Sarthi Prabhu's home. So please, if you have not RSVP'd, so please RSVP, because they want to make sure that everybody is ready for prasad and logistics and all this things. And so that will be the second part of this, will be tomorrow in their home. Prasadam service starts at 6 to 7 and the class will start at 7 p.m. Again, tomorrow morning, as we are having a group japa, while on the way, I told Vrajbihari Prabhu, and he said that he is very enthusiastic about group japa tomorrow.
I'm happy to hear about this. Because I'm missing temple. So, and I'm traveling now last few days. I want to chant with you about this.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So now Prabhu will do a short statement. So please stay back. Still not. Amaranth will be doing a statement. So gather around.
इसमें नहीं है ये वाला छोड़ दे सकते कोई 15 मिनट करते हैं